This is episode number 7 of the Software Lifestyle Talks with Sai Teja. Welcome to the Software Lifestyle Talks. My name is Jalal Pinjari. I am your host for the show. Each week, I interview common yet successful people from the IT industry to inspire your inner power and capabilities. So, this week, I am going to have conversation with Sai Teja.
Hey,
Uh,
hi Jalal.
le- Hey, Teja. So let me give a little bit background about Sai Teja. Sai Teja is working as a junior software engineer in one of the top IT company. He is a tech geeky and he has done a lot of other things uh, apart from his profession. He is also having YouTube channel. His YouTube channel name called Dpoint. He really produce very good content. Please go and check if you are interested. With that said, let me start conversation with Sai Teja. Hi, Sai Teja. Thank you so much for joining my podcast.
Hey, hi Jalal. I'm happy to join your podcast or the complete cast. I'm excited. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, so let me start with the first question, Sai Teja. So, can you give a little bit a background about your family and education?
Right. Yeah. So my dad is in defense, so because of which I have to travel different states. So from my very beginning of schooling, I was like 3 years from one state, 3 years on different states. So overall, I got to know many cultural things, and I studied all kinds of books, be it CBSE, state, everything. So my one good point that would be useful for you and could help you is that till 12th standard, I did not used computer for education, only for games. So that is one thing that you should be aware, so that we can say that okay, uh, if I'm not doing computers for so long, is it okay for my profession or what? So that I think we are going to learn in this casting going forward, but just for our understanding, till 12th only games, nothing else in computers. Yeah.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, this was a nice introduction. Yeah. So, coming to the next question, can you please share your story on how you get your first IT job and what kind of preparation you went through?
Right. So this is like very a very important part of our, like, even the college journey or the career option in any aspect. This is very crucial thing, but I don't like this term called preparation for interview or preparing for a company, because how I did or how would I expect, my opinion is just an opinion, is as soon as you are in your first year or even your first class, you try to enjoy what you are doing. And for me, like, without taking much of your time, my to the point thing will be, as soon as I'm joining in first year, be it mechanical, be it or IT, okay, with some intention I'm joining, right? So I was like, let's enjoy, play, implementing as soon as possible, so that I don't get into any pressure at the time when it is actually required. So I can say I am doing from the first year what I was thought of doing, that okay, I need to go into this profession, so what is required, why I'm joining, because there is my certain milestone aims I need to enjoy, as well as I need to show some progress towards my milestone. So it's like, from the first year, first semester, first day itself, you enjoy, you waste your time, but also try to take each step closer towards your milestone. So I was like, okay, I need to learn this thing, so let's see what are all the opportunities. That's how I started to begin. So at that time, coming to your question, how was my preparation? It was, I don't know when I was doing the preparation, so it's like I'm enjoying completely, I'm doing it completely from the very beginning. And at the time of interview, it's like, okay, today I'm going to talk to someone about what I did. It's not about what I prepared. But yeah, in the preparation, right, I can say that I just need to refresh my memories of what I did for all these years. That's it. I do not want to say that, okay, in the preparation, I need to go through this specific. That is not good. So that's how I prepared. Yeah. So
Fantastic, man. I
no
think
learning specifically. Yeah.
fantastic. So I think you enjoyed what you were doing. That's a whole idea. It looks,
Correct.
yeah.
The best thing is, we spend 100% of our quality time in the pressure. At that time, we may be learning it temporarily, but I don't think, as per my opinion, that is of any use in long term. So I try to stay away from pressure situation by planning it properly and learning from the very first day, or implementing. Okay, yeah, implementing is a major portion. Learning
Yeah.
any, so good thing about our IT part, apart from mechanical, civil, and all these things, is we can learn anything within a week. That's good thing about IT, right? Even if
Yeah.
it's a very basic thing, even if it's a very high level thing, very what kind of specialized subject, we can at least start or begin to learn and implement any topic within a week. So that's something very good about us. Like today I'm interested in one technology, tomorrow I'm interested. Don't hesitate. Yeah, just start. But again, we should be narrowing down of what our milestone is, so that don't get confused in all and not doing anything
Yeah.
at all. Yeah,
That's true. Yeah,
yeah,
because we have a lot of information right now on the internet. So,
right.
like,
Every day hundreds of tools and technologies are going and coming. So yeah, we need to stick to something. But again, if we stick to only one thing, we are not as per
yeah,
marketing requirements.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, nice. That was a good answer. So let's go to the next question. Yeah. So basically, like, this podcast is the intention of this podcast is to help students to get some idea about the IT interview process and how they can
Right,
prepare, get them into IT job. So let's go
right,
to the
right.
next question. Yeah. So can you please talk about the interview process you went through, like how many rounds you faced, then what kind of question they asked on high level? If you remember all those things, it would be nice for students
Right.
to just, yeah.
Right. So here, right, I see two could inform, or I could let know how my process towards the placement went, and what I can tell about that to students. That would be my first question, is what I understood. Second, I would share about my interview process and everything. So
Yeah,
first
and
thing, like,
you can
yeah,
also
go ahead.
tell which year you faced that interview,
Correct.
so that yeah.
Correct. Okay, so beginning with this, right? Okay, let me answer this latest question first about my interview process. So in third year, second semester, right? In the first semester itself, any college will start preparing its students, because in third year, second semester, basically placement will start for the final year students. Like, I mean, for the third year, second semester placements will start. And it's like, then we are not going to get much time, because then companies will lined up, and like every week or every day, it is possible that on the same day multiple companies might come. So overall, the intention is that you will not get time to prepare once a third year, second semester begin. Okay, it seems like 1.5 is still there to complete the BTech, but once you are done with third year, first semester, you will not get time. So that's why even the college knows this. The student doesn't knows this, but college does know this. So they start preparing their student from third year, first semester itself, as in a formal process. But as a student, it's up to us. We want to prepare in fourth year, or we want to prepare in first year, first semester itself. But formally, they start giving training for any specific technology, or for any. Okay, for my example specifically, right, as a student, we don't know what is a ticket, what is incident, okay, what is the implementation process. So these kind of things which we cannot live as a software developer if we don't know. But as a student, we are not sure what it is. So what my college did, they brought us the service now team, and they started teaching us this. Why? It's not requirement for a placement, it's something which is giving the students an added advantage compared to the students of other college. Because in college, right, we have two things: on off campus, on campus. So if it is on campus placement, it's like specifically to your college. Off campus means you'll have uh, students from other colleges, so it's like all colleges combined. So when we are going into that environment, when we have that much competition, even students from other, we should have something. Okay, these are this college students, they have having this advantage. So for that kind of stuff, they are teaching us some extra technologies like service now. Okay, so that is one of the thing which college tries to impact the student. Okay, but apart from this, because nowadays every company, right, previously there was one or two company, but nowadays every company is for sure filtering out using aptitude, using competitive coding, using like in aptitude also we have different levels, which is varying from companies to companies. Sometimes it's related to our core roles that we are applying for, sometimes it might not. So here, right, we can say like how the companies is no deciding what rounds to have, what not. One is based on their requirement, second is based on how many students are available, because they want only 10 students but we have 10,000 students. Okay, so and they know that all the students are on same level in many dimensions. So that's how, based on how many students are there, they'll have different rounds. But on the standard, there is these rounds that you will be having resume filtering, which is not like all companies, but that is kind of a standard, I can say. So, okay, so basically these departments or specific specialization are eligible, and they'll have uh, certain points, like you need to have 75%, you need to have 70%. But again, if you are a student, right, you know that 75% in college one is equal to 50% in college two. Like that, we can say it is happening. Okay, so based on which college a company is going, they are going to decide percentile or percentage, and they are going to filter out using these mechanisms. Okay, now you and I can say mark doesn't matter, right? But when I and a copy of myself I see 1,000, what will company do? So they need to put some filters like this, right? So that's where mark does matter. Okay, even though it's not going to help me or help me, that's a different thing. But in this kind of filtration, it does helps. Okay, so
Yeah.
resume filtering, and then aptitude, and then coding competition. In again, in coding competition, right, again there will be a different levels. If suppose Amazon is coming for a SD1, and they are specifically looking for some Uber kind of problems, they might give a graph related problems, they might give a basic level problem, like does he know for loop, if loop. Okay, so the good thing that we try to see here is that we are not using or implementing in our daily software development thing, but we see in competitive coding is the timing part. So the logic that you are writing, crores other people are there who will write the same thing, but how much time is your logic is taking. So basically there are these kind of n number of factors which will differentiate you from the other. So basically it is helping the company, one, to filter, second, to actually validate what kind of student is coming into. So yeah, so coding competition, then we might have phone interviews or the live interview. Sometimes it is possible that they will ask students to come to the organization for the interview. Sometimes they themselves will go to the college for the interview process. So that is a standard. Okay, now once that is done, then we might have different rounds specific to each companies. Like for one company, after interview also they might have hackathon. For some company, they are fine, they are okay with the student, and they will hire him immediately. Okay, now basically after all this standard five stages, right, resume, and then a percentage, and then resume, the interview, hackathon, and any specific aptitudes are these. After all these things, you will get a PPE, pre-placement PPO, pre-placement offer, right?
Okay.
So that was one thing. But this PPO, right, you will get for sure, no doubt in this. But it's up to student whether they want to opt for it or not, because right, companies are lined up now. So if we see, right,
Mm.
even packages and all are decided based on the demand that they have. And student now is in still 3-2, so he is now free of mind, he still have huge many companies coming to the college. So based on the packages, based on the environment, based on the reviews, right, we have reviews on various websites, which definitely impact. Just like Flipkart, if we are buying something, we go for reviews. Here also the company does matter, because nowadays I don't know what happened in future generation, like previous generations, that package is one of the crucial, but nowadays package is very important for sure, but along with the reviews, like based on the working culture. And but
Culture,
as a
yeah.
student, we are seeing this. Okay, now
Mm.
suppose I okay, so that is one perspective. So first perspective would be I need to get placed. Now as soon as I'm getting placed, right, I'm free of any kind of pressure which I had till 100% or 10%. Now the student is again attending other placements with a different perspective, because now
Yeah.
he has something in hand, and he is in 3-2, he has lot much time. So
Yeah.
that's how my process went. And for me, right, I attended for two and I got the two. And the coincidence is both of them were on the same day. One was early
Mm.
morning, one was nearly 8 p.m. So both of the
Mm.
results also came on the same day. I was happy with both of the results, and I selected one and got into one. And I'm happy with what I'm doing.
It's
Yeah,
nice,
so
man.
that was about the, yeah, interview process. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So both conducted a similar kind of rounds for you?
Right. No, I mean, those were the final rounds, basically the interview
Mm-hmm.
rounds.
Okay.
So and the point is, you might ask whether the questions were same or not. So it's
No.
like, since I was not preparing for any specific question or specific section, though they are asking differently, for me it's like, okay, they are asking subset of what I already know. So for me
Yes.
both of them were same. Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. So before, reaching to that interview level, so
Hmm.
like in first year, second year, third year, I think you might
Right.
have learned something which is really
Correct.
useful for those interviews. So can you talk about those
Correct.
things, like what kind of, programming languages you learned, and
Sure.
what kind of projects you did, and
Right.
what other, subjects you just gone through, so that they helped you clearing the interviews.
Right. So this might be a bit long. I'll try to put it as simple as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah,
So
maybe at
one
high
thing
level.
as a
Yeah,
yes. So
yeah,
as a student, right? If you are a software developer, and if you go to a student for any kind of, let's say, interaction, right? Definitely you will come across these kind of questions. Like as a student, I will ask whether I should do website development, Android development, whether I should
yeah,
go for machine learning, whether I should go for blockchain. That
yeah.
kind of confusion is definitely there because there is too many buzzwords and all is happening. So
Yes.
what I did is, I did everything. You see, because as I said, it's not very difficult to get started, but you should do everything. So if you are in a final year, then you might have less time. You might need to narrow it down your options as soon as possible. But if you are a first year, you should not ask this question. We should basically
Mm,
try every language, but not stick to every language for a long time. So you practice Python for 1 month, or you practice Java for 1 month, practice frameworks for 1 month, and then you can narrow it down. Okay, now I need to focus on my competitive coding, and because I have learned 5 languages, I try to do some programming. Out of them, I liked this programming very much because of these reasons, and because of these cons I'm not choosing this. So if I have that clarity, right, tomorrow, even if you are very experienced, but if you come and discuss with me as a student, I can tell you why I'm choosing this, because if I have clarity based on what I have seen. If I am wrong, then you can correct me, and that is actually good for a student. But if I am sure that, okay, this is the reason, so here, right, even there is no confusion from me, I can stick to one language and I can go ahead. Now, what this is doing is this helped me getting familiarizing with all this, and then choosing one of them, going to learn competitive coding with one specific language. Now, that is one more thing. Now, again, going for competitive coding like that, it is, the path is going on and on. But now, as soon as my first semester, second semester is getting over, right, now my options I am filtering out, but it's like I'm practicing everything. Now, bad thing here that happened to me was, which I would definitely suggest all the viewers to avoid, is okay. So here is the thing: when we are doing something, right, we'll have metrics for everything. How far I'm doing good, how much time I'm able to save. There is something to measure. So if I'm exploring all these things, definitely I'm implementing it, right, and definitely I'm creating too many projects out of it. Now, if I'm not using GitHub, I'm not using cloud technologies. If I'm putting in system, you know what are the disadvantages, right? Having something on our own system, and my system got corrected and many things got lost. So that is one thing which is still there with me, and I cannot forget those things. Like I developed something using a blockchain. It's a dummy project, it's a demo project, it's a small kind of contract projects, which using, again, there were multiple languages in blockchain itself, which I did. But now if you ask me, show me, I cannot show you. So here, right, what I got it from is, even if you are uh, l- learning anything, right, put everything in cloud. Okay. Now, good thing about here is, when I am having that I need to use cloud, I'll explore cloud technologies. So here I'm not learning cloud technologies just for learning, right? Here I'm learning cloud technologies to put it in my daily use. So here I'm not preparing for the interview to learn cloud technologies. Here basically I'm using it as part of my daily
actually,
habit,
yes.
daily routine, right? So it's like, since I'm using it in fourth year when it is required, it's not like I need to learn something new. It's something which I was using for everything. So
Yeah, it
basically,
comes naturally.
it
Yeah,
correct. So the sooner we understand this, the sooner we try to get good grip of it. So I measure my metric by saying that how much hard disk of my system am I using. If it is more than 50 GB, okay, I am at this percentage, because my everything is on cloud. Be it a small Excel sheet. I can create an Excel sheet, but I don't want to do that. That is wrong. Stick to cloud technologies. Even spreadsheet, I consider it as a cloud technology, right? Because I am not maintaining it. So everything, try to stick to this. So like that, I progress, and I would suggest the same. And now, since you have much experience, right, you would say GitHub, Bitbucket is very basic thing. How can this be a? But as a student, right, we are not much aware from the first year, second year. So as
Yeah.
soon as we get into third year, oh, this is something it's present actually. So that we don't do.
Mm.
So I would suggest that try using that in our daily usage, so it's not something that we have to learn separately. Okay, yeah. Now coming to what I have learned, after that is, if you see, right, there are some subjects which are there in third year. Okay, now but I need those subjects to implement one of the project which I am learning in second year. So what I'll do, many students I have seen, they are waiting for the third year, because in third year first semester that subject will be there of, let's say XYZ. So don't wait for your teachers, don't wait for that semester, so that that subjects comes into your syllabus and then you learn, because by the time you get that, you lost your many semester already. So even if that subject is going to come as part of your syllabus, but you need it today, so make use of internet, learn it and implement it. Forget it. When the subject comes, it is an added advantage that you already know, but don't wait for you. So that is one thing. And because of this thing, I have seen many of my mates uh, lost something in terms of time, I would say. Okay, so for
Yeah.
me it was specifically Java, because that
Mm.
they usually put it on our third year, which is like what happened to first four semesters. So
Yeah.
it again varies based on boards and colleges, but that was just an example. So yeah, I was doing this, and in between, right, for website development we need PHP. Okay, so W3 school, go learn, implement, done. Nowadays, right, what is the change that I'm seeing is, by when interview was going for us, right, one crucial thing, like the more things we had, the more unique we are from other men. That's
Yeah.
common.
Absolutely.
But the one requirement for one company came, they were asking only for video resume,
Oh
right?
my.
And no one had video resume, no one. So that is one thing which is an old fine. Like at my batch it was for one company, but for now I think that's becoming very common now here,
Yeah.
right? Again I can say, okay, Jalal, you know video editing, do it for me, no? So you will do it me, and that's done. But that is again not a good thing. Why? Because let's say I'm in second year now. Okay, I have huge time, I can learn editing, I can do video resume. So I can say, so basically what I how I was preparing for interview is, I don't want to tell Jalal that I have learned this. I want to tell Jalal or the interviewer that this is the output of what I have learned. So basically I don't want to tell the interviewer that I have learned, but interviewer himself should know that I am
Yeah.
able to do this thing, means he should definitely know that thing. So if I'm showing you video resume, credits, everything, my name, it means I know editing skills, right? And here is a good thing, right? So many colleges, many students are not only focusing on this thing called placement. Yeah, that is one thing very important. But apart from thing, now colleges are like having subjects separate subjects for this called startups, e-cells, and various such things we are having. So it's like internship is good thing, right? If I want to do startup, I need to know how the business works and all, and based on my use case I can go for one and the other. But if I want to do a business in the software domain, sticking to IT companies, I need to know many processes which are working in. I can go ahead directly, but having that knowledge of how the things goes, be it a scrum, be it a filtering of work, be it dividing the use case into small tasks, it is going to help me. If that is not there, I can do it and do all the wrong mistakes. But if it is there, then it's good. So why I'm telling you all this is because in my third semester, right, I was traveling randomly, and I met with some students. We discussed as regularly. Many students discuss, come up with many ideas, but we took one home at rent and we started a startup. Okay, now it's a based on a very valid what I can say use case and requirement. It's not something random. Okay,
Mm.
so the good thing about here is, just like in software company, I don't call someone sir or madam, because there is always an exchange of ideas and always question coming from either from that side or this side. Similarly, in the college, right, there is, in the beginning, you are my senior, I am your junior, that thing will be there initially. but as soon the time goes, right, we should try to avoid that break as soon as possible. So I started working with my alumni in my second year second semester. We all worked together. They are alumni. They are giving me their experience. I am in second year, second semester. I don't think I gave much to them, but whatever it is possible, we tried to come up with a product. So if you Google Vibes app, you might get some information on that. But yeah, that is something we started to working on it.
What is that?
So
Vibes
here,
app.
right, Vibes
Yeah.
app. So
Okay.
here, right, yeah, that is one of the product out of many what we did. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, so here the point is, don't wait for something and try to avoid that junior senior thing. Yeah, you respect them, they are senior, but okay, try to have that collaboration. And the good thing here is, I am from IT profession. I want to build some IoT device. Find a guy who is good in electrics, find a guy who is good at maybe processor or something. And I might be saying terminologies which doesn't have anything to do with IoT, but just that was just an
Yeah.
example. Try to
Yeah.
have one person from each department, from each specialization, group together and perform. So the good thing about colleges is it gets over at after 4:30, unlike current life cycle, right?
Yeah.
So then we can make a best use of it. Yeah, sports and all is equally important. That's why we are discussing specific to students who are interested in IT, right? You-
Yeah.
So it's not like don't play sports. Yeah, that is equally important. So here we are talking specific to people who want to work in this domain.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my journey, I was learning, doing everything what is required. Like I was working in blockchain, I was working in Android development, I was working in website development, I was working in cyber security. Working in the sense, I was learning,
Doing
implementing, doing
some use
labs. Okay,
cases, some small
correct,
projects.
exactly. So, for example, right, just for examples, if you take cyber security, right, I cannot just hack someone's system and do. So, the learning things I need to Google. Okay, how can I learn? So, we have many things. So, for example, to cyber security, I'm going to tell some sites specifically. Try hack me, Portswigger,
Okay.
and there is okay once one okay these are some sites where we are given labs, we need to explore, we need to finish the lab, and at the end of this lab I can confidently say that okay, now I know this concept. What is the use of that? There's no use. So what I can do is I can go to my like every college will have their own database and management, right? I can go to any professor or any teacher, I can say that I have learned this, do you need any help? So
Hmm.
here what I'm doing is I'm actually finding a real-time use case for what I have learned. I'll go to them, they'll say, okay, this is what we need. But if you know this right, that would be very helpful. So here basically I'm getting exposed to what is required in the real time. So that's how I'm also doing the assistance to my professor. I'm learning, I'm finding the practical use case of what I have learned and I'm implementing. So was this a project? No, it was my natural process. Now can I put in my resume? Yes, I can. How can I put? Is it a major project? Is it a minor project? No, it's a project. That's it.
Yes.
So here
Yeah.
I'm helping everyone. I'm getting fame. I'm getting learnings. So this is one more thing that I would like to highlight, right? If suppose your aim is very time taking thing, right? We'll definitely get bored because of all the entertainment that we have uh, revolving around us, right? So
Yeah.
how I stick to this is I'll have multiple bonuses for everything that if I learn this, I'm going to get this, like 10 bonus, I'll say. Okay. So even if I'm bored, right, I'll say, okay, if I don't do this, I'm missing this. I'm not going to get this opportunity. So like that, if I have 10 good things coming out of one learning, then I will not stop learning that. So I would say have that thing. Okay. So one thing
Mhm.
I do is I take commitments. Jalal, let's do this on this day. So because of that, I'll say if I stop learning today, I gave a commitment to the person which I'm not going to fulfill. Right. So
Right.
at least
Accountability.
for the
Yeah.
sake of that, e-
Mm.
at least for you or for that aim, I'll try to learn. So I always make sure that I have 10 such things so that I don't, it's basically planning, right? Yeah, that
Right.
was one thing. So doing projects way before it is required. So you okay, so we if we see, right, in third year second semester we have to submit something called minor project. In fourth year first semester or fourth year second semester we have to submit something called major project. And you will find many students facing the issue that Do I need to do major project? Do I need to complete my exams? Do I need to listen to your lectures, or do I need to prepare for my placement? What do I need to do? So there is so many things going on. It's not from fourth year, it's from very third year, second semester, right? So that's why what we can do, what in my case what happened, my minor, my major, everything got completed in second semester, I mean second year itself. So the only time that I spent when it is actually required was on the documentation. Right? So here the point is, you are doing everything, and take one of them and show it as your minor, as your major, so that at the time when it is actually required, you don't need to hurry burry here and there, and you need not to do any fault things. You are literally doing the major and minor, which for which is it is actually meant for. Right? Yeah. So that was my high level the journey, I can say. Yes. Yeah. Jalal, you are on mute.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Teja. So basically,
Yeah.
you love doing something. So in that process, you automatically learn things which require to complete those, projects
Correct.
or some use cases. Yeah, nice.
Right.
So did you like learning all those things, or it's of your interest, or you learn something which is really needed for future, maybe
Right.
for
Yeah.
interviews?
Yeah,
Generally,
this
like,
is very good.
it looks you did lot of things, man. Like, if you take compare it the normal guy, I think you did lot many things. You did a
So,
blockchain, PHP, website development. I think you are some crazy person. Nice, eh? Nice.
so here,
Yeah,
right?
nice.
Again, even I expect that if you ask me something, I might be able to tell you or not. But it's like, okay, I'm familiar with that, and that is enough. But that is not enough for everything. Get familiarized with everything, but go ahead with one. So one of the things that I need to specifically mention to students, which they are definitely missing, 90% of them are missing, is when we say networking, right? Even student know networking means getting to know many people, but that is not what actually networking means. Getting to know is specifically that for this purpose I have this person, that is actually having the point of contacts for different kind of purpose. Now how to get that as a student? Because now if you are working in a company, you will have too much connection, that is fine, but as a student, how do I get this? So let's say I am in Hyderabad, right? So in Hyderabad, I'll give you an example. Similarly, wherever you are living, your state would definitely have these kind of things. So we have, like, let's say you download an app called Meetups in Play Store. That is just an example. Okay, I mean it's actually
Yeah,
existing,
yeah,
but that is one source. So there I can say, okay, I am interested in this. So in this week or today itself, is there any hackathon, is there any conference, is there any networking, is there any meeting going on? So you don't need to know anything. You just search for it, you have a free time, go and visit. Okay, it might be possibility that you might get placement there only.
yeah. Of
But that
course.
is rare. So the intention of searching and doing this is, the place where you are going, right? There you might find a first year person, there you might find a fifth standard person, fifth standard in the sense fifth class studying person, or you might
Yeah,
find a person with 70 years of experience, or the person with 70 years of age. So going to these things, you will get to know what is happening in the market. And now you have chose that conference for a specific domain, you will find in market what is happening in that domain specifically. Okay. So uh, that is just one of the intention, and having the networking, not so here I'm not going to do the networking, but that is an implicitly happening, right?
yeah,
There I'm going, showcasing what I have done, or seeing what others have done, or seeing those presentations, seeing those demos. I can see how actually people works, what they are doing, how they are elaborating. And the thing that
you'll get.
happened with me is, yeah, the thing
Yeah,
that happened with me is, I went there with some intention, right? I saw some other people who went with the same intention. So there we grouped together and we started working. So that's one
mm,
of the benefits. Like this, we have thousands of benefits. If you heard about nullcon, right? I just went there once and I got addicted. Now I cannot refrain from going to any such nullcon conferences. So if people are not aware, nullcon is conference for cybersecurity domain. Again, yeah, you can Google it. So that's one just example that a student definitely should go. As a software development, you might already see those things everywhere on in daily routine, but as a student we don't see such things. So
yeah.
I think that should be a crucial part And yeah, while choosing these technologies or do- domain or anything of this sort, right, I was unclear like what I should go for, but I was clear what I should not go for. Like choosing
mm,
computer science when I did not have computers for this kind of things, I am sure that I should not take electricals because I am very weak in those circuits and all. So I was sure what I should not take because I am not good at it, but I was sure what I should uh, go for, at least narrow down the option. So yeah, that is one thing. And these meetings, so this you just highlight this in the description. People should definitely go for such kind of things. And one more thing, now we are using Zoom, right? So we took an example of GitHub to use it in our daily life. Use many such as much as possible good quality tools like Discord, Slack, uh, Skype is one of them. So why do I do this? Is because you will see many groups forming just like WhatsApp, right? But here we are forming a quality groups and sharing different kind of multimedia, live demos, conferences, different channels. So if you are aware of Telegram, these platforms are similar to that. But just go and explore what all gold you are having there, right?
mm,
Just
yes, man.
go there and explore. Yeah, you will love this audio cast for listening, for so many tools that you will be coming across because of the output that you are going to get once you start using them. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you repeat? One is Discord, another one is
These are just some example: Discord,
community.
Slack.
Okay.
Right. So here, right, okay. So people who are familiar with it, you are good. People who are not familiar with, right? Let's say, Jalal, you and I want to continue with various topics of podcast. What we will do, we'll simply form a WhatsApp group and we'll start discussing, right? But there is a limitation. Uh, my data will be gone, my storage will be gone,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a limit of 256 members. There might be a security issues. There might be some issues which WhatsApp might not help me with because I want a customer support of WhatsApp. So just a small list of uh, big thousand features that I'm speaking about. So those kind of things are covered up and provided support on different kinds of these platforms. Discord, Slack are just the top two, and we have Mattermost. We have, yeah, these three things which
Okay.
everyone should use. So these three things I'm mentioning because this everyone should use, but no one is aware of. Skype
Mm.
and all everyone is aware of, so that's fine. Now you can say how many platforms should I have, man? That's really irritating, right? We cannot focus on
Yeah.
any one thing.
Right.
So
Right.
try to use them. It's just like the same question. I should learn Java, Python,
Yes.
PHP, CH. What should I learn?
Yeah.
So at least
Yeah.
download that, try to use it, and then based on what content you are using, based on what connections you want, based on what topic. So it's just like this thing. Okay, let's say I want to learn a technology one. The one thing as a developer I will see is that for this technology I have 10 tools available. Which tool is having an active community?
Mm.
Right, that is what we see. So as a student you don't know active community, I am sure, pretty much sure. So active community is basically how many people are discussing, working, adding new features, and work is actually going on in the backend. So why I'm bringing that again is, so if I have Discord, Slack, Mattermost, everything here, okay, now I am interested in AWS, so I'll see. Okay, for AWS, I think these three people are my role models. These three people are definitely having groups. Now they are having
Mm.
groups on which platform? Oh, they are having group in Discord. Okay, so that is my go-to for AWS to this person or to the community in that Discord. So this community is just like a talking thing, but again, Stack Overflow uh, uh, is one community I can say.
Yeah.
Similarly, every technology will have its own development community, its own these kind of communities as well. So
Mm.
that development community is different. These community groups are different. So basically, find your technology, find your people where you can find them. Based on that, you can decide where to contact, how to stay in touch with them always, right? Because it is possible that as a student you are trying to answer 50 years experience person, right? So here
Yes. Yeah.
again I am not doing networking implicitly, right? I'm trying to just learn, grow in that team, but
Space.
implicitly everything is happening. So here tomorrow, right, if I go, I can say that okay, I have done this, I am part of this community. that itself is a very much weightage as a student, because as a developers, right, everyone is part of something and something, but as a student this is not actually happening. So if you as a student you say this, you are a part of this community, you have done this, that's literally differentiating you from thousands of other peoples. So all
Absolutely.
this which I'm saying, right, is specific to student, right? As a software it's a completely again different picture, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think basically to summarize, start building use cases and projects. In that process, you learn everything. I think that is the motto.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Instead
There's
of
no specific thing like preparation. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, nice man. So anyway, coming to another question, I think this is subset of what you explained at high level, but let me ask this question. So, how
Yeah.
important this data structures, algorithms, competitive programming, and this aptitude and personal project, all those things for a fresher to clear the interview? So, do you think these things will help really, or are
Yes.
they mandatory? Okay.
Right. So we have many subjects which are useful. We have many subjects which might or might not useful, but the list that you said, Jala, those are
Yeah.
100% required. Now
Mm.
again in that, right, let's take a specific coding competition example, right? When we are
Yeah.
learning coding, right, we'll come across thousand concepts. In that,
Yeah.
we might use some of them after becoming an engineer, like after joining any company. We might use some, we might not use some. Okay, let's take
Okay.
one of the example. If I'm saying
Yeah.
that I have learned hash map and it's just a very layman term I'm using, let's say I'm learned hash map, but now I'm not using it. Does that
Mm.
mean I'm not going to use it in future? It's not. It's just that the use case which I am working as a professional does not need it, but it I'm going to use it. It's like you learned it, never got wasted. It definitely
Definitely.
sometime you are going to use it, and because you know it today, right, the benefit of that. So let's say I have learned many concepts now as a software engineer, I'm not using them, but the point to identify here is as a software I'm using many tools which are using those concepts. So if I'm aware of those concepts, I can easily play with the tool and scan to different, like basically tweak the tool as per my requirement, because I have that knowledge. So the point here, it just a one liner, because maybe I am talking in paragraphs.
Mm.
So the
Yeah.
one liner would be, many of the things that we are learning, that the list you said, the coding competition and all, half of them, only half of them is going to help you in the placement.
Mm.
Most of them is what you are going to say is you are going to use them in your coming professional experience. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
anyway you need to know. So if you
Yeah.
know it before itself, it's not a loss, but it's an added advantage, right?
Yes.
So it's
Absolutely.
the, for sure you need to uh, implement again, not learn. Yeah,
Right.
you need to familiarize, learn and implement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no escape to that. And coming to aptitude, I don't think I'm using aptitude, but it is very much necessary for placement only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, man. Yeah. Nice. Nice. That was a nice explanation. So, okay. So, if you have to start today again as a fresher to get IT job, okay. So,
Right.
what steps you follow and what steps you suggest for a fresher, you know, as of today, like maybe in 2021. So, from your
Right.
experience, from your
So
knowledge.
it Right. So it again depends on which year you are, because your time and everything will vary drastically. And some
Yeah.
people in first year might not even have that much time as person who is having third semester. So you might saying I'm saying it oppositely, but it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people are having a different environment,
Yeah.
a different background, different culture. So it's all about timing, how much time you
Yeah.
have. So based on that, the student has to take a judgment call that how much time I have to explore, right?
Okay.
Based on
Yeah.
that time he need to choose, and he need to see, like he or she need to see whether I really have that much time to go everywhere, or I just need to sit here and do
Yeah.
everything, right?
So
So
yeah,
here one
let's take example of fourth year student, and
okay.
who has to prepare a campus placement. Okay, let me put it this question in a specific way.
Okay, so if
Yeah.
you are a final year, right?
Yeah.
To be not, I'm not talking softly, to be
Yeah.
talking very hardly. For
Yeah. Yeah,
fourth
man.
year
Sure.
student, if you are just starting now, it's already very late, but it's not
Mm.
got out of your hands. Try to take the very burst things that is going on. Just So here, right, as a fourth year, if you have any specific company, then well and good. If you don't have a specific company, you need to go through the list that is coming to your company, see what is the domain they are working in. Okay, now today what is happening is, if I take any company, I cannot say it is specifically working in this company, but at
Yes.
least what I can do is I can send requests to people on LinkedIn. I can try to connect in parallel, right? Not only
Mm.
doing that, I can try to send requests. I can try to connect to my seniors who got placed last year, and I can find out what they are working. It's not like something we are violating the privacy or company. It's just like we are informing our juniors of what is going on, what you need to learn. So here, get quick guidance from your seniors, get quick guidance from your placement officers, get quick guidance from your teachers, lecturers who are specifically in that domain, and try to get details as much as possible, like what is that one thing that if you spend even your one day is going to add value to yourself. Okay, so at this fourth year time, right, I would never say spend your complete time in coding competition, because you are not going to learn anything about coding competition if you start in fourth year. So here I would put it simply like you are wasting your time if you are learning coding competition in fourth year, if you are
Yeah.
preparing for the placement, right? So you need to choose
Yeah.
things which could actually each and every day it is going to add a benefit to you. For example, if I take specifically what is happening in real time, Jalal, if I
Yeah.
say I have done this part, I'll talk to someone from, okay, let's say a specific, okay, I'm not going to name that company, but let's say I've found a loophole here in one vulnerability which I found. I can say that, okay, hey Google, see this thing, I have found it. So they are acknowledging me. So these kind of things is adding very much value to my profile. But again, these are not going to happen in one day or two. So again, I'm coming back to your question. As a fourth year student, what I should learn? So take any technology. I won't say coding competition, say any one technology, let's say machine learning itself. Okay, use take machine learning, practice for 1 week, and try to go on Kaggle and try to participate in the competition, form a team, try to solve the use case and fail.
Mm.
I'm not saying you complete, you fail. But
Yeah.
here, now you have your profile. Now you can show that I have 1 star on Kaggle because I have done this thing. And then forget it, because you don't have enough time. Now go to CodeChef or HackerRank, try to spend 1 month, get 2 star or 3 star, which is not going to add any value to yourself, but it's
Yeah.
going to show that, okay, you did something. So here, right, now you don't have time to perfect anything, but you need to add more qualities to yourself. Why? Because in your same section, in your same college, you have 1,000 people like you who are competing against you. So you don't have time to get perfection, you'll need to add. So at this point of time, right, I don't think I'm sounding good, but at this
Yes.
point of time, quantity does matter than compared to quality, because you
Quality.
don't have a year to prepare. Your already placements are going on. Okay, and at the same time, Jalal, if you see, right, their exams are also going on. And in
Yeah.
engineering, you have mids, assignments, vivas, then semester. So as an external person, right, you can say how it's not good. Having quality is always a priority, but I won't say, I'd say at this point of time, quantity is more important than quality. Try to
Quality.
add more skills, and you can like frankly say to interviewer that I'm not good at this, I'm at this level. So how sometimes interviewer asks is, rate yourself on this, on scale of this. But you can you yourself can take uh, voluntarily, and you can say I rate myself 2 by 10. Now why you are saying this is because once an interviewer asks you a question, right, then saying that I don't know, and if you say if I'm 2 by 10 on this, he will ask you accordingly, right? So here
Yeah.
you're saving the frustration of an interviewer of saying that, or getting an image that this student doesn't know this. He will not be getting that, right? And one
Yes.
more thing, whatever quantities you are adding, right, if those are genuine, right, you can speak on the same for a complete day. Now,
Yes.
Jalal, what happens to the student in specific and not for the professional one is, they will simply ask like, okay, explain about this. Okay. Now, if suppose I'm going for a professional interview, you
Yeah.
might give a specific use case to me, but here it might be or might not be. So here most of the thing that take part of the complete interview for a student would be explain about your major project, minor project. So if you
Yeah.
have that quantity and you do something for the major and minor as soon as possible. Now here one good thing you need to understand is, even you're a fourth year, right? You pass exam, you get placement, nobody cares. For sure you have to submit your major project. It means
Mm.
I have to submit it. So if you have to submit it, spend more time on that. Spend
Yeah.
more time on that means, again, you need to speak about that to your interviewer. So you need to do it genuinely. So here, if I was in this position, right, what I would do, I have 6 months, but I will spend my complete 2 months on this, learning things and implementing. Because here I am giving major project, which is going to add weightage to my overall percentage, so that I am eligible for interview, right?
Yeah.
So here I'm doing multiple things. I'm able to save my time in the interview by actually genuinely doing it, because many people don't do it genuinely, which is a dark truth, but yeah,
Yeah.
not good. So
Yeah.
so if I do it genuinely, basically in 2 months, if I do major project, I'm doing it on myself. I can speak on anything, if you ask me, right? So even if say interview is 30 minutes, if you 20 minutes if you speak on it, it is not good. So here
Mm.
the point I need to understand is, if I am interviewing you and you speak on 20 minutes, I cannot listen just now. I think even I am doing that same now. So I need to
Yeah.
use bullets. I need to interact like Jalal. You
Yeah.
know this. This is something which is going on in market. So in this manner, right? I'm interacting with the interviewer. I'm telling what I know, what I explored. So as a fourth year, right? Your main focus would be to do one thing, so that this could help me in 10 other things, be it your
Mm.
marks, eligibility, major project, your exploration, your implementation, your learnings, and networking, or anything. So the one liner would be, try to do one thing, two thing. So quantities as much as possible in terms of skills, but output your major, your minor. So
Mm.
these two things, try to improve the quality of these two, but try to increase the quantity of skills. So that would
Mm.
be my giveaway for the student in the final semester
One.
who has not started anything.
Yeah. That's
Because yeah,
excellent answer. Yeah, man. That really helps. Yeah. So you give clear answer for them at least to
right,
start. Yeah.
right,
So yeah, I think you are talking about this on campus placement, right? I
right.
mean,
So
like this is
this
about on campus. So, for example,
correct.
if you have idea about the off campus, you can also
Hmm.
give idea. Like, for example, if a student in final year, but his college does not have this campus placement. So, if you have any idea, can you give some tips and strategies for them
Right,
as well? Yeah,
right.
so how they can
So
prepare. Yeah,
right. So every college gets notification about literal off-campus visits. Like literal
mm.
off-campus visits means they are coming for colleges, but for every college. And
Mm.
that would be one thing which they will get notification and student will visit. So I don't think in this process they will have any obstacle. But the other category of off-campus, I would say, is where as a student I am searching somewhere and not they are not coming to me, right? So in that,
Yeah,
so here, right, again, networking is not like it plays a crucial role, but if you don't have that, try to, okay, yeah, here the things come, right? uh, Try to have things which differentiate yourself from other people,
crowd.
be it
Yeah,
professional, be it the experience, be it a student. So here one thing would be video resume, right? that
mm.
that is very
Yeah,
good. Like even if you have skills or not, that media is there. It's not giving assurance that you will get selected, but it is giving assurance that your resume will be looked,
yeah,
right?
right.
They are getting 1,000 requests, and out of them one is a media file.
Video
While
resume.
they will
Yeah,
skip, why they will skip, they won't,
yeah,
right? So this
right.
is one example to differentiate yourself from others. And yeah, this is one thing which I think even the experienced people should know if they are not aware, but I think everyone will be aware. So if you are
Yeah, yeah, no
applying
man.
on
Like the
some portal,
video
right?
resume part, still a lot of experienced people also does not know, and even they know
Right,
they
yeah.
hesitate to do that. Yeah,
Right.
even
Because that is
myself.
something
Yeah,
new, right?
yeah,
Even like what? Okay, so yeah, video resume is one thing. Second thing, right? If it is possible, it's not mandatory. If it is possible, try to have your own website. showing your
Mm.
list of things, showing your creativity, showing your
Yeah.
designing skills, showing your blog, showing your everything. So here
Projects,
you
whatever
are
you did.
not
Yeah.
right. So here you are
Mm.
not only differentiating yourself, but you are showing that you know development.
Mm.
Okay.
Right.
It
Yeah.
is possible you might not have developed, but it will say, okay, you are exploring, you are doing something different apart from your co-curricular, I mean, apart from your syllabus, right? So these
Yes.
things, again, you are doing only one thing. You are creating a website, but it is adding to your resume in many ways, right?
Yes.
Okay, so video resume was one thing. Creating, having your own such kind of
Website.
website is one thing. And third thing would be, yeah, so this thing, if you apply on any portals, right, try to update your resume every day. So every day we
Mm.
cannot update, right? So what you can update is in your address, right? You can change letter 1 to letter A to capital A to small a. So why you should do this is because they get pile of emails every day, right? And it's happening in a queue manner. So as soon you update your things, right, you'll get on top again. This is the latest update,
Mm.
this is the latest update. So that's how your request or your resume will not get bundled up
Right.
under something and it will never be visited. So that is something which we should always do when we are applying on some external portals. Okay, so that was one thing. And as a student, right, if you're there is this thing which as a student we might know, but as an experienced people we know that if you know some people who are already working in a company, you can reach out to them and you can ask them, do you have any requirements of this? Because what happens with in this is, as a employees, right, we are asked whether we know anyone who can fulfill this particular requirement. So this is
Mm.
not made public until and unless there is some deadline, or there is
Mm.
like already they are searching for many days within the company or from our connections. If they are not getting, then they are making it public. So as per what I have seen, right, only 10% of the requirement is made public. So
Mm.
90% is like completely internet, that either you fulfill the
Referral.
requirement or you
Yeah.
get someone, yeah, referral. So try
Mm.
to use that, because I think it is again going to help people who are searching outside. Well, it is definitely going to be help you very much, because I have seen my friends who are searching for many days, and after that they are coming and telling me, okay, this is something I am looking for. I said the first thing that you should do is you should see that you should reach out to a connection and you can ask them, inform the person that, do you know anyone or do you see any vacancy for this, and then you continue with your exploration. So
Yeah.
yeah, these
So I
kind of
think, yeah.
resumes, website and referrals. Yeah, go ahead, Jalal.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, I think so. The connections, whatever you have, first bug them and tell them that you are trying for something. If they have some,
Right.
yeah, if they have something, then they can share with you. And if you have
Yeah.
any, any online portals or communities, also you can suggest here, Teja, to get more
Okay.
networking and connect with more people from IT industry. Like I think LinkedIn is one. Any other
Right.
things,
So
if you have,
right.
yeah,
So if I see in specific, right, if let's say I'm doing my MBA in banking and finance management, I have an HR group, right? So if you say I have a requirement in this skill, I might not sure, but I might get a contact and I might give you a contact. So that's how you are forming a connection. The point of telling here is, if I want to gather people, I might create a WhatsApp group which others might not aware of. So I can
yeah,
just share you the contact. And the coming to portals, right? So one thing would be this internal, what other portals? I think in generic only Naukri.com and all.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, update everything very frequently. And then connections, I okay, I don't want to say, I am saying I literally don't know many public
Yeah,
sites, but
sure. Yeah,
yeah,
no
you can
issues. Yeah.
explain. Yeah, I am
Yeah, I
not
understand.
very much
Yeah,
familiar.
I think you got selected in on campus. I think you did not much get chance to explore all
I
this
did
off
not get
campus.
chance.
Sure,
Right.
sure. No,
Yeah.
no issues, no issues. Yeah. And yeah, so let's talk about the internship, Saiteja. So,
Right.
okay. So, did you do any internships? And also, like, if someone wanted to do any internship, how they can, go and get that kind of opportunities in on
Right.
campus as well as, off campus outside also. Like, we have some students might, come from tier 3 college, I think. For them also, if you
Right.
have any strategies, please, give some idea.
Right. So I'll not again take much time. So one point would be, as we have said, go to meetups, which
Mm,
might include conference, which might include hackathons. So what
mm,
happens in those events is they will have some prizes for every kind of use case or competition.
mm,
So as part of that, right, we get many internship opportunities. Let's
mm,
say, let's take an example. There was this 72 hours hackathon which I participated for
mm,
a data science related use case. So we, as a student, as a second year student, I'm saying, okay, as a second year
mm,
student, I went into that hackathon. That was 72 hours hackathon. So let's say you have never done a hackathon. You are experienced hackathon, you are farming connection, and everything is going in parallel. But based on what you are doing, if the company really likes it, there is no interview or nothing, because hackathon is where you actually do, so they can see, right?
mm.
Based on company's opinion and based on their process, they might give you internship then and there. So here, right, they are not expecting you to do much because it's an internship, and definitely you should go for it. So
Yeah.
here, the point is participate in the conferences, hackathons, where you might end up with this kind of the full-time employee opportunities as well as the intention opportunities. We cannot say, it depends. Okay, so this was one
Mm,
thing. Second thing, definitely apply for everything uh, on the internshala.com or anything. But the thing you the point you need to notice, you should never leave an opportunity because they are paying you less. Okay, if you have multiple internship at your hand, then you can decide whether I want to go for this or not. But if you are
yeah.
just because they are paying you less, don't leave the opportunity. And third thing is, never ever pay for an internship. If you are paying for an internship or the internship is free of cost, it means you are not going to learn that. Out of 100%, out of 100 internship, 90 internships are like this, where you are either doing free of cost or either you are paying. So the point here is not about money, but the intention behind those opportunities is, for sure you are not going to learn. So never
Mm,
pay for things, but you get paid. Here, not, it's
yes.
not about the money, because the market is like that, that if they really required something and they want to uh, im- like, if they are paying you, means they are fulfilling their requirement, and if they're
Mm,
fulfilling their requirements, definitely you are going to get some or the
yeah.
other
I think you need to
uh,
do something. Yeah.
skills.
They will ask you to
Correct.
know. Yeah.
Right. So never pay, never work free of cost. And because if you are not working free of cost, right, they'll actually see that I am paying this guy, he's doing it or not. If he's not doing, they'll teach you. That's what the whole intention behind the internship. So yeah, coming
Mm,
back to point, participate in events as much as possible. And yeah, what I did was I found a person who was related to the technology I was looking for. I reached out to him. I said, I will work free of cost with you, just tell me whatever you need, I'll do it for
mm,
you free of cost. Because
mm,
if you see, right, people are going for freelancer.com, fiverr.com. There the competition is like, I want this thing to be done, who is work doing that in the least possible cost. And no one is going to give you the job if you are not good at it. So
yeah.
what we should ask is, I will work for you free of cost 24 by 7. Just tell me what you need want. Okay. So in this manner, not only I am finding a mentor for myself, but I'm actually going to do something real time. So these LinkedIn and all these platforms, don't take it very lightly. Try to search
Mm,
for a person. So I don't know, there's a specific term for these kind of internships, assistance or something they call it. But yeah,
mm,
do this thing. So here, forget about money. Yeah. So this portals, LinkedIn, and then searching for people who are working in the domains, going for the events, all these things you should definitely do. Yeah,
mm. Nice, nice. So I think key is participate in meetups, hackathons, and events.
for sure.
Then yeah, and connect with the people, maybe using LinkedIn, other portals. Then
Correct,
you'll
correct.
yeah,
Right.
fantastic.
And
So I
today,
think
right?
yeah,
Yeah. Today, if I don't want to do anything, right, just open LinkedIn for 5 minutes, send a two request. Daily two requests means how many requests it is forming.
yeah, man,
Don't take
yeah,
it as like a Facebook, but from a quality
yeah.
connections. Yeah. Right,
Yes,
Jalal.
yeah. Nice. I think it applies for both students who are coming from tier three or good colleges, right? I think it's the same
Yes,
process for internship. Or
exactly.
yeah, sure, yeah,
So
nice man.
I can assure you, even if you're
Mm,
from tier 3 college and doing these things, right, definitely you will get more than what a tier 2 student get. I cannot say
mm,
about tier 1, but for
yeah,
sure, more than what tier 2.
yeah,
Because there are many other things which are impacting. Okay, let's not talk about them, but yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
sure, man.
Yeah. So if
Fantastic.
okay, one more liner which would definitely go here. Here you will not be getting placed in a company, but you will have a list of things in your hand, out of which you will choose that which company you want to go for. So that kind of situation you will get in, which is very, which will definitely give you very much happiness for what you have done so far. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice, man. Super, super. So yeah, let's come to some off the topic. We're discussing
Right.
more
Yeah.
about technology. Yeah, so I think I'll ask this question: how is a day for in your one day of the software engineer, like from log in to
Okay.
log out, like what you do, like just to understand, just to know the students, like because students don't know exactly how internally one employee will do what do I'm at a high level from log in to log out,
Right.
like what kind of activities you do. Yeah.
So first
To,
I will say what you asked, then I will
mm.
say how my work from home is affecting that. Okay.
Sure.
so
Sure, man.
so
Yeah.
so yeah, so one thing for sure, we'll go to the login time and differs for everyone. So
Mm.
then we open it and we then check out all the mails which I, as a student, uh, like the person who joined recently doesn't do very much, because there are many emails which we don't even understand as a new person. So that is something I improved as the time passed. But initially, or in general, we used to open a mail, see if there is any immediate meeting, or we used to do it the before day itself, that tomorrow at what time to have what kind of meeting, so that the first meeting I need to get up this thing, I need to prepare
Yeah.
for something. If yes, I will prepare accordingly. So yeah, we used to check that. And then students might not know for this, but how the work happens in the software company is, you will be given a work for, let's say, 2 weeks, and then no one will ask you what you are doing today or what you are doing tomorrow, why you are not working now. No one will ask you. You just need to give your update, what you have done. You are facing any issues, you need to let them know. And you can work anytime as per your wish, like morning, evening, or you can work whole day. It's up to us. But basically the whole intention for you would be that the work that you thought or you discussed with every team that you need to complete within 2 weeks, you need to complete that. So no one is going to do spoon feeding, or no one is going to say why you are not working, why you are not working, or why you are logged out. There's no such
Mm.
thing. You can do anything freely. The overall in point we need to take care is, we need to complete that work uh, in the 2 weeks, right? But it is better to do it every day, so that if you have any difficulty, you have one person whom we call it as a scrum master, or a
Yeah.
manager, or a tech lead, who
Mm.
is there for us to help, that okay, today I'm doing this, I'm not able to do, please help me here. So that's how that, okay, the day goes. We start our mails, start working. If you have any meetings, attend them. If you have any events, attend them. If you have any conferences, attend them. And so basically do work whole day. In between, you will be going here and there, even the including entertainments, okay,
Mm.
including the entertainments, the lunch. But it's again depends for everyone. So even my team has, let's say, 3 members. For every member it might differ. I am doing
Mm.
lunch at 1, and I am doing lunch at 2. It again completely flexible. So for a
Mm.
student, what they need to see is, there is no one day target. That is one thing you need to, there's no one day target. You can work freely for that case. And as a student, what our team or what people like Jalal tell us is that do as many mistakes as possible, because we are in that stage as of now, so we have that flexibility which he might not have, because he is
Yeah.
that much experience. So try
Yeah.
to do
So we
as much
have
mistakes as possible. Yeah. So
absolutely, yes,
the
man.
day ends with by again seeing how much what time I need to get up next day. So here is the thing, that we not have a confidence when we are starting join, like when we join initially, right? We lack confidence to create meetings and call people. Hey Jalal, you need to be there at 10:30 because I have a query. So that kind of thing now we do daily basis, but initially we don't
Yeah.
used to do. So
Yeah.
like if what I will do is, I have this query, so I will check with that person tomorrow what time it is feasible for you. Accordingly, I'll set up meetings for tomorrow, and I continue with my work. So basically, morning to evening, continue with your work. In between, you need to look here and there, look here and there, take break, take lunch break, take dinner break, take everything.
Mm.
Finally, check what you need
Yeah.
to do tomorrow and log out. And
Right.
sometimes if you get a call in between, okay, that's a different story. But yeah,
Yes,
on a
yeah.
surface level, this is what is happening.
Nice, nice, man. I think it gives some idea to the students. Like, yeah,
Right.
that's
So
good.
so
Mm,
if you tell me what is Scrum Master as a student, right, I won't get it.
yeah,
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 that
I
all
will.
those things. Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
will
yeah.
take some
So
time.
when I said, right, in second year I had a startup, I can now I can see, like, if I have known this knowledge at that time, how my work would have differentiated. So even when you are
Right.
thinking of startup, having working in the company for small time, it is really going to streamline how we should work and all. Because
Yes.
software company is not brought and born and brought up in a day. It's working from the time when we
Yeah.
are not even born.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
So,
So we'll learn all this process, all those things
correct.
in a company.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, let me go to the next question.
Sure.
So yeah. So at present, like, what tools and technologies are you working right now, man?
Okay, so I cannot name them specifically, uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Sure.
but overall, on a
No,
surface
if
level, right?
the
Yeah,
one which are not a proprietary tools, maybe if you might be using some
uh,
programming language, some
right,
generic tools
right.
that you can at least. Yeah.
Right. So very very popular frameworks for front end, be it React, be it Angular, that everyone is working, and I have worked very small part of it. But again, yeah, then we come across, like, based on my team's requirement, which if it is changing, then I need to learn something new, or I need to use something which I already know. So let's take an example that I'm using React. I need to optimize space and all. I learn Redux. So uh, again, I have done this thing, and if since you are asking me, again I'm feeling bad because at that time I was not using GitHub. My project is gone.
Mm.
Okay, so as of now I'm not working anything on front end. I'm working a small part on the automation, using automation tool. I'm trying to learn, uh, trying to you so I'm trying to learn what a tester does, what tools he is actually using. I'm trying to learn the tools that the tester uses, and as a developer in general we use various IDs, so that doesn't make a difference. But my the foundation on which I'm working would be Java, and
Okay.
we have a huge number of accessory technologies going around Java. But yeah, that is one thing
Yeah.
mainly I'm working on.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah. That's nice. And yeah. So what are the trending career options and roles right now available in IT space for a fresher? Like, what do you think? Like, these are
Okay,
all.
so
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
right.
Right
So
question.
in specific to India, I'll say this one thing for sure, which we are neglecting from a long time. And I would not say a specific company is ignoring, but as a country, we are ignoring one main thing would be cybersecurity, right? If you see,
Yeah.
right, it's not a example. It's a real time thing which has happened. Was if people is asked to invest some percentage of their budget in the cybersecurity, they are not. But once they are hacked, then they are giving the more than that as a
Yes.
ransom to release out of that.
Right.
So
Right.
because of that reason, I would say that cybersecurity, which is already trending on a peaks at all countries, now it is taking a pace in India. Okay,
Mm.
so so Jalal, one thing I would to point it out here is, even as you're a student, right? There are many portals like bugcrowd.com, HackerOne, many such things where Google, Uber, Paytm, you name a company, it will be there. Now what is happening
Mm.
is they are actually putting their application there, asking the end users in the sense, even I am from a mechanical engineer, I might do that. I am from CSC, I might do that. I don't have an education at all, I might what is expected there on these kind of platforms is you come and hack them as per the rules and guidelines that is given to you on that platform. And if you do this, right, you are not only getting paid in thousands and lakhs and crores. I am literally saying crores for one
Yes.
vulnerability for a kid. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like literally happening. So if people are simply coming here and doing vulnerabilities for the money, you will never get it. In cybersecurity, we call this money as bug bounty. You are finding
Yes.
a bug for which you are gifted, so we call it as a bug bounty. And if you're coming
Yeah.
for bug bounty, you will never get even 1 rupee. So for that, we have to have a big foundation, big labs, and you need to basically work for a long time. And for some people, you might get it even a minute. For some people, you might even take a 10 years. Yeah. So coming to the question, what are the trending things? Because now the concern of everyone is moving towards the security of application. Cyber security is for sure would be my first, which is in trending.
Oh.
Next would be in machine learning, specifically data science. And I
Mm.
am using the term oppositely. So I would
Yeah.
say data science. Okay. Now in a data science, it's not like you are doing too much algorithms and everything in the very beginning. No. So
Yes.
algorithms coding will be very small part, cleaning and everything will be 90% of. Okay. Coming back to the
Yeah.
pointers, one liner, cybersecurity, then machine learning. I I would put blockchain and all at the third point, uh, like
Mm.
third, because there's no such active use cases in quantities compared to the first two. There is too
Correct.
many use cases for the third one, but compared to first two, it's not there. Because the third one, right, even if you are developing such an application which is actually good, the scope of actually using that and having the public to accept is compared, it's kind of a
Very
long
less.
process. It's a very good scope, but since
Yeah.
preferences wise, I would put that as a third. But these three
Mm.
things does not say that there's one more domain. Let's say programming languages and all. So these programming languages are different. I cannot say Java is compared to cybersecurity. I cannot compare that manner, right? These three things are good. These are the preferences which are trending. But again, if you come to frameworks, if you specifically talk about UI, Angular and React is on peaks. Okay, we have other thing called, we have various technologies for this front ends, but on top these two things, React and Angular. And again, if I see, right, something uniquely I see about Angular is, even in each version there is a drastic change. So uh, so when you are applying, right, they will specifically say, I want a developer for Angular. No, you will never find such thing. You will find, I want a developer in Angular this version, which we
Yeah.
don't see generally in other technologies. So in front end, that is what. In back end, I think there is not much change that we have seen, but the more number of frameworks that we learn, the better it is. But it's not like, because frameworks will come every day and will go every day. So it's just like every coin that we are seeing in the market, Dogecoin, everything, something is coming, something is going. So it's just like when we talked about the more skills you are having, as part of that I can say frameworks also. So Python, I think on top Django, for Java, I think on top Spring Boot. So this framework I will not say which is on booming, but this depends on what language you have chosen. Okay, because when
Yeah.
you're working in company, for sure you will choose as per your team's requirement. But what you should choose is based on what language you are choosing. And when we are deciding language, we should see everything, all these factors. What I'm going to do with this language, how fast it is. So if I say, right, I want to build a FIFA game. If I know Java, I cannot. But if I have C hash or C, not C hash. If I have C, I can build it. Why have they have chosen this thing? So all this questioning again will help me to choose my language. So choosing things is going to play a crucial role. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have talked about that, those three things, and frameworks and languages. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Man,
So
so well.
those are, yeah, different
Yeah. Go
different
ahead.
columns, I can say. Those are not conflicting, so we cannot compare in between them. But overall, yeah, this is my
Yeah. So yeah, as you were talking about not choosing something. So when you joined as a fresher, like,
right.
did you have a freedom to choose, like, particularly, like, if you have to work, if you like work on Java, or if you like work on Python, did you get that kind of opportunity when you get selected as a fresher? Like, in general, also, no, you have any idea on that?
Right. So as a fresher, like we are speaking specifically to as a fresher. So we
Yeah.
might or might not get the options to say to the specific committee that I am specifically, please put me in this and put me in that team. So if you are, even if you are put in placed in a specific team which works on ABC technology, which is of not your interest, if you want to
Yeah.
continue, you can continue. Either otherwise, you can inform the committee that I am looking for this team which is working on this team, and based on the feasibility, you might or might not get changed. but there's always a good scope. Bigger the company, bigger the scope that you might be put uh, replaced, or you know, like the team changes and based on your requirements. But again, for me, right, how it went is, slowly one or the other technology gets stacked on the application which we are working. So it is actually driving me to explore more and learn more. So even if, say, today I'm using one technology which I am not happy with, but that is required in the market. So it's
Mm,
basically, I'm not doing good for the team by learning, but I'm also doing good for myself, right? So that is one way of seeing it. And if you are getting what you need, then that is excellent. But if you are not getting, then you can see why it is, why the company itself is using, or why the application is being used, what is the demand in the market. And that's how, that is a different perspective, that if you don't know, or if you are not familiar with the technology, you are actually getting a scope to learn something new which you are not already familiar with. So this again, I think, every student will have his own opinion. But for me, right, I see in this manner, I don't know it, but it is required, so it's actually more good for me. Right now I have people whom I can ask, okay, I am not familiar, please teach me this. So that's how we can get new stacked up technologies into our skill set.
good. Nice,
but
man.
but there
Yeah.
is always a scope. And for me, right, even everyone are so much helping that if you don't want this, let me know, I will take care of what you need. So those kind of environment, that kind of environment, I am actually working in. So I'm literally happy for that.
Mm, nice, nice. Yeah. So I think when did you join in IT, man? Like which year you joined as a employee
Okay.
for?
Right. So in 2018, I was in third semester of my BTech. So at that
Okay.
time, as I said, third year, second semester placement starts. At that time, we had a hackathon, and that's how we got where to do internship, where I'm going to get the pre-placement officer. So by the end of third year, we have everything in our hands. Now in fourth year, still companies are coming. You want to attend, you can. If you don't want, you cannot. Okay, so that is one thing. And then in the fourth year, first semester, right, we have uh, colleges from Monday to Saturday, in regular Monday to Saturday. But because we were saying that we need to do internship, we based on the college, it again depends that whether they are okay for you to work as an internship, or they want you to stick to the college. So based on those options, for me, okay, if since you're asking about me, my college was like, okay, you can do the internship, but for sure you need to submit your major project, minor project exam. No, no playing with that.
Yeah. No
But
excuse.
you
Yeah.
can do your internship. So in that manner, I got, so for me, I got internship in the same company where I was getting from where I got the PPO. So fourth year first semester, oh, no, 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 my sorry, small correction. Fourth year first semester, we were doing our college things, completing all the stuff. Fourth year second semester, we were doing the internship and attending the college on the Saturday. So Monday to Friday, you go to your company, do the internship. Saturday, you come to college, do the remaining things, be it the part of presentations or major projects or exams or anything. Try to complete everything on that day, and then like that, fourth year completed, and we are done with the internship. And after our final semester exams, the very next day we had the joining date for the company. So that's how there was no break in between.
Nice, nice,
uh,
man. Nice to
yeah,
know.
but having the opportunity of doing the internship in the same company gave us this good scope of familiarizing ourselves with the environment and getting familiarized with everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we come to the end of the first round. Only one question I have. Let me ask that. So, how are you
Yeah.
managing your time, man? Because I think you are also doing some YouTube. Uh, you are a
Okay.
YouTuber as well as a IT employee. So, how are you
Right.
managing your time? And also talk about your YouTube channel a little bit about for audience.
Right. Thanks for pointing that out. So I mentioned in the preparation part, right, in the complete journey, that if you have 10 things which is encouraging you to learn one thing, that is how we should plan. So YouTube is one such thing. If I'm learning, I'm also going to forget maybe after an year. So that is one
Yeah,
encouraging point that told me that, okay, I should put everything on cloud as we discussed. So I'm using YouTube as now YouTube for many things. Like I'm learning, okay, I need to put it on YouTube, so I have my data safe, and I'm teaching someone. That's how my communication, my personality development, my editing, my video, everything, my marketing, my network.
Mm.
You see how many benefits I'm having. Tomorrow I don't want to create a video. Why you are not creating when you are having hundreds of benefits?
Right.
You see this? So those are the points which I'm using uh, to learn. Basically, now I can say that YouTube is something which is encouraging me to learn and explore more. Right? So let's take an example. I put some video. Now you're keeping a comment. Why is this not working in this manner? You asked one question. Now that is bringing
Yeah.
thousand thoughts in my mind, and based on that, I'm going to explore. I'm going to put one more demo. So
Yeah.
you see how the learning path is actually building up for me by itself now because of the
Yeah.
foundation that we have laid. I don't know when. Yeah.
100%.
So this
Yeah.
is something if we want in future we cannot get. So it's like very slow process. So when you have time, you do things. Now it's not only
Right.
about education. If you see, right, you are traveling
Yeah.
somewhere. Put a camera on your
Right.
bike. It will work as a security purpose for you. It will work as an evidence in case of any challenge or anything. Put the
Right.
same
Right.
on YouTube. So you are getting the fame, you are getting the money. This is again just an
Right.
example. If you are roaming in
Yes.
the park, have a camera. So it's just an example
Yeah,
of
that's
doing
that's
one
how
thing and
that's how things happening nowadays.
correct.
But as you
Yeah,
told, like when you are not teaching, actually, you learn more than what thought of. Actually, for if
exactly.
you learn, if you're learning for yourself, you just learn and you don't put much focus. But when you are teaching, you will be more
Huh,
concise and you'll put more focus. So that because
correct.
you have to answer when you are giving something to others, then you should give all correct and detail things, right? So I think you'll spend
Right.
more time, quality time to learn things that in turn help
And
you to
one
learn.
more thing,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And one more thing, which even for professional people, even for students, I want to point it out that for sure company are going to give you 1,000 benefits. Okay, out of them,
Yeah.
because only 10 are popular, we are going to use only 10. So those remaining 999 or 990 benefits, we are not going to use it because as a student I'm not aware of all this, or as an experience also we might not aware. For example, as of now, like I had many questions like if while getting into the placement, will the company take care of my higher education? What if I take a break and do my higher education and come back? So those kind of things definitely we are having for people who are doing MBA or people who are thinking of doing CAT or going for the higher studies without the placement and they want to skip the stage of placement. Yeah, I again want to point this out because I have seen students who are later regretting for not doing this was that even if you are interested in higher studies, right, don't skip this placement stage. Have the placement and then you can still decide, right? Because once the placement stage is gone, then you cannot decide because you do not have option.
Yeah.
But
Right.
when the placement is going on, even if you're sure that I want to go for higher studies, at the time I can decide, okay, let me do this as well in parallel because I have now still an option. Later on, once that is gone, you do not have an option but definitely to pursue your higher education. So don't skip this stage. That is what one thing. Yeah, about the benefit that I was talking right now, currently I'm doing that banking and finance management, my higher education. Now the good thing is it's the company which is encouraging me to do all these things. So this is one of the benefit. They are not only encouraging me, they are giving me time, they are giving me money, they are providing mental support, they are doing everything for me. Now this is you're not going to because it is not very popular, you will not find among your peers, but you need to explore that you need this requirement. What is the company doing for you in this dimension? So that is one thing which specifically for students I am saying, but for experienced people, some are aware, some are not. So this is something students should use it. Definitely they should use it.
Yeah.
Now why did I brought this point is just now I said you're roaming on your bike and you're putting camera, create a YouTube channel out of it. That is just an example. So now I am doing banking and finance management. Now as a developer, I don't have anything to do with finance, but there are terms which I'm going to use in my daily life of finance, which is required for me but I am not aware. Now because I am sure that this use cases might be the same for Jalal or the same for other people who are working in same dimension as me and facing this problem. So what I did, okay, I'm learning something, I need to put it on YouTube. So again, I have a channel called Dpoint Finance for the finance, Dpoint for technology, Dpoint music for mashup, Dpoint gaming
Mm.
for the live streaming. So you see, all these things, I don't want to do it intentionally because I am doing it. I want to put it on cloud. I'm using YouTube as a one of the platform. I have 10 such channels, but Dpoint, which is having cybersecurity, automation, frameworks, front end, back end, middleware technologies on such thing, including the what I can say, uh, nouns and stuff, and there is some things coming up in the next month about the CVEs and bug bounties for sure. So it's like because I'm putting most of the content very frequently on the D point channel, it is very much famous compared to my other channels where I'm still my frequency of putting the content on other is very less. So yeah, that is one thing.
Yeah.
So it's not only about that.
Nice.
Even if you are eating, put a channel on cooking.
Yeah.
But again, yeah,
Nice.
there is
Nice.
again this thing, because if you are choosing specific thing and already people are doing that thing, why should people watch you? So again, this comes as a judgmental call. So all those things we have to analyze before starting. But yeah,
Oh, nice, nice, man. Yeah. So, like, whoever listening this podcast, if you want to just subscribe to his channel name called Dpoint, please subscribe. I think he has very good content. Go and watch once. Okay,
thanks,
nice,
Jalal.
man.
Thank you all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, man, like you are talking about a mashup. So I
Hmm.
see there is a lot of potential for that, man. Please do that. I'm a mashup lover actually. I am mashup lover.
Right.
So I see very
And
less mashup channels in YouTube for Telugu at least.
right. And if we narrow
Yeah.
down the scope again, right? If you see opportunity in this, if I say mashup specifically for developers, because when we are
Mm,
doing work from home and we are not doing the thinking work, but coding work, coding is also thinking, but there are various works that we can do listening to music. And at that time,
right,
if I bring out that mashups for developers, right, here comes the part called SEO, search engine
right,
optimization. So all these
right,
things we don't want to learn, but because we are doing something, it is required for that we are learning. So it's
right.
again a path of journey. Again, I in the interview I can say SEO, but is it something I have explicitly said spend time and did? No, it was part of my complete learning journey. So people used to say, how do we prepare? So I say there is no such thing called preparation, it's a complete journey. Yeah.
Yeah, just do it. Then by default you will learn all those things. I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
exactly.
that's a motto. Nice, man. So with that, I think we completed the first round. Now let's jump into the second round. The second round name called Tic Tac. It's kind of rapid fire kind of
Oh,
round. I'll ask question, simple question like small answer, one line answer.
okay.
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 Okay. Let's start. Okay. So
Yeah,
let me ask
ready.
first question. Top two things you like about the IT job.
Top two things about like that I like would be the goodies, and then
Nice.
I came into IT because I enjoy it, so I'm enjoying it. So basically,
Right.
I'm doing the same thing. So that's one thing I like about IT, and it's
And
everyday changing. So
everyday
that
learning.
dynamic
So you
is,
like that.
yeah, every
Fantastic.
day everything is changing. So that's making us more dynamic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So two things you don't like about IT job, if
Um,
you have any.
so if I
Mm.
no, if I don't like any, I might not have been this much excited for this podcast. So I don't have any
Yeah.
dislike as of now. If there is any
Ah,
dislike, right,
yeah.
we need to change the perspective and find out. Yeah, again,
Yeah.
that's a difference. This is a rapid fire, so there is no
Yes.
dislike.
Right. Super. Super. Yeah. So what you wanted to become if not a software employee? What was your plan
Um,
B or no the other
there was
interest?
there was no plan B. The good
Yeah.
thing for me when I chose this is, even if I'm not getting placed in any company or anything, there is a huge demand for which I don't depend on anyone, but I can start myself. Even the small kids nowadays, 13-year-old kids, they are doing marketing, they are doing sales, they are doing everything. So basically digital marketing, everything. This, it's not possible that you cannot do this thing with the IT. So the plan A was to do this. Plan B was to do plan A very strictly in a different manner. Maybe start yourself. Yeah, there was no plan B basically.
Nice. Nice. Super. So nice, man.
That
Yeah.
was specifically for me. For you people,
Yeah.
please plan accordingly.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Nice. Yeah. So I think I thought of asking top two YouTube channels you follow, but I think I can ask more like top five YouTube channels you follow regarding software technologies. If you have more list, you can please list down all those things. What you
Oh
follow?
no, I
What?
won't do that because
Okay.
you see, I have one expertise for every technology, and for each technology, I would suggest one channel. So I would
Oh yeah,
never
sure.
say
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
no,
Yeah,
excuse me. So that's how I would say that based on your
yeah,
technology, you choose which YouTube channel. So I don't have
yeah.
that list. But
Mm,
yes, so because if you want, if you are not satisfied with YouTube, then definitely go for Udemy, Coursera,
mm,
Edureka, and all these things. And one good thing I would say is, if you are happy with Edureka content, you can simply go and learn Edureka without paying it, because they are putting most of their content free of cost on YouTube itself.
mm,
So if I see right, people are saying you should not make video more than 15 minutes. But if I want to learn a specific technology, if I see people are preparing it, they are preparing it for 10 hours one video, 15 hours
yeah.
one video. So
Yes, man.
just go and explore
Learn,
in that manner.
yeah, learn Spring in 3 hours. Learn Python in 2 hours. Yeah, I see
Right,
these
right.
videos, and the actual actual intention of this YouTube also,
Just
like,
I'll
they
pause for
want to encourage. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'll pause for a minute. Just a second.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me start. Yeah, let me start. Yeah. So we were talking about YouTube channels, but you were talking about Edureka and Udemy, like whatever the platforms you like, you can go and learn. There is
Right.
nothing
As
specific
a
you are talking
student,
about.
even 300 rupees, 400 rupees for a course is very big amount. So for that reason, I'm saying that even those people are putting content on YouTube, so you can watch them free of cost. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So one quotation you never forget in your life. Do you have any such kind of quotations you
I,
remember?
yeah, I get that question very frequently, and because I don't have any such,
Okay.
I
Sure,
used to
sure.
put those bonuses for my learning path. That
Mm,
if I want to learn this, I'll get this. So I have those kind of things for me to motivate uh, to get to that end point. So yeah, I don't have any one favorite quotation.
sure, sure. Good man. Nice. Yeah, I think we almost come to the end of the podcast. Let me ask you a final question. Okay. If we have a 1 minute time in the stage where millions of IT employees listening for your message, what is the one message you want to give for all these, millions of IT employees?
For IT employees, I think I'm not
No,
that much
maybe for
experienced, but
students. Maybe for
no,
students. Yeah,
yeah,
I think you are a junior
based on my
employee.
experience, yeah,
Yeah,
based on my experience, spend less time learning, spend more time implementing, and spend the same time reading the documentation. So that was the one liner. Divide times in three: 20% learning, 40% implementation, and 40% reading documentation. So that is one thing. And one thing that, since you said one liner, that I want to say to students, now I'll say specific to students, because
yeah.
that the first thing was for everyone. The specific to
Mm,
students, I was like, post your questions on cloud, post your questions on GitHub, post your questions to community, post your questions on LinkedIn to any specific people. But before doing anything, read the documentation. Put the, like, again, there's a separate video that is coming up of how to like what all things I need to do before asking anyone. So I think this is a good platform to for me to tell that there is a complete preparation, is a list of steps that is coming up of what we need to do when we ask something about any technical or non-technical
yeah.
query, but it would be specific to technical. So yeah, post your questions and spend most of the time implementing and reading documentation. Yep.
Nice, nice, fantastic, man. I think with that question, we come to the end of this podcast. Thank you, Sai Teja. Thank you so much for your time. I think it was very nice talking to you, man. I think you brought a lot of good insights, and you shared a lot of golden nuggets for students. I think this might definitely, make some help for them. Thank you, man. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Jalal.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.